Okay, the valve is now closed. It is at the city's inlet pressure, or the supply pressure is 80 psi, and the tank is slowly filling. It'll fill until it gets to an equal pressure, 80 psi. So we'll just let it go. It'll take a while. Fills the tank at 1 gallon per minute, approximately, depending on pressure. Just let her go. Still 80 psi on the supply side, and it's now up to 60 on the tank side, or the water user side. Pressure still climbing. Looks like I have a couple of small drips in my fittings, but that's not going to affect the test here. Okay, 65 psi, somewhere around there, 64. Tank is still filling. It'll continue to fill until the pressure is equalized. Okay, we're getting up to 70. It's still 80 on the supply side. As you can see, I'm using my water heater to supply water with the power turned off so that it's cold water. It's the only hose bib I have available. So I live in a condo and there's no hose bibs. Plus they probably wouldn't want me to use their water to test this thing. So it looks like it's climbing up to 72 now. Tank is still filling. Shouldn't be much longer now. Then what we'll do is we'll run the system and watch the differences in the gauges. It should go down to 50 psi before the other one drops down. The tank pressure, or the water user side, should go down to 50 before the valve opens to allow the supply to start supplying water to the tank. That's how we cycle the tank, is by the valve that I've put in here, that I've patented, will withhold the water except the fill line water, which is about a gallon a minute. So anything over a gallon a minute will slowly deplete the pressure tank, cycling it. And the valve, I have it set at 50 pounds before it opens and allows the supply side to flow. And we're getting close here. 84. Still a little 80 on the supply side. The water user is never without water. It's always flowing at whatever the city can supply in your piping network, of course, and I'm using these small hoses, so it can only flow about probably maximum 5 gallons a minute, but it's enough to test this thing and show how it works. We're getting up there now. It should level off here at about 80 psi. 81. So let's see what happens. Then I'll turn the ball valve on and get some flow here. Okay, you're getting close. 77, 76. Tank says it was tested up to 114 psi, so we've got plenty of leeway there. Looks like we're getting close. Then we'll show the valve, turn the valve on, get some flow going here. On the supply side should stay at 80 until the water user side, or the tank side, gets down to 50, and then the valve should open. So let's see what happens here. Looks like we're leveling out here. We're getting pretty close. We'll give it another minute or so. It's static pressure, there's no flow, so it should get pretty close to the same. Okay, we're just about there. Okay, I think that's close enough. I haven't seen it move in a minute. So, and for informational purposes, we have about 30 pounds of pressure in the tank, in the bladder, or the diaphragm is holding about 30 pounds of pressure. So here we go. Let's see what happens here. Oops. Okay, here we go. Okay, let's drain in the tank first. Go check my water. Okay, water's flowing good. We've got, the tank is discharged almost 30 pounds worth of water. And this thing should click at right about 50, and the pressure should equalize, meaning that the water system is handling the flow. The city is. So here we go. There it goes. The city's starting to supply the pressure, and the valve is allowing the water to flow from the city now, and looks like the city can only flow about what I'm flowing now. And so there's your deal. It withheld the water back until the tank cycled, and when you turn your water off, the tank will fill back up again to full city pressure. So there's one complete cycle. So this is the way my invention works. The valve withholds supply water until the tank cycles. There you go. It's the city, the valve is closed at 50. The city pressure goes up to 80, and the tank starts to refill. We won't make you wait through the whole thing, but as you can, we'll wait a couple of minutes to show that the tank is now refilling again. When you put this in on your main line coming into the house, the tank will fill faster. I mean, it won't fill faster, but you'll be able to handle more flow. Whatever your piping network in your house can handle, this thing can handle. So flow won't be a problem. This thing manipulates the pressure. It's not affected by flow very much. It can handle up to about 30 gallons a minute or more. So it's an 1.25 inch line, basically 30 gallons a minute. It's 1.25 inch line. So there you go. It's starting to fill again.